The AI Summit is underway here in New Delhi. And of course, there are 20 heads of state. There are 45 ministerial delegations that are here who are focusing on AI, of course, rules and regulations and safety, but also how the Global South is a big partner in this entire exercise. But to join here exclusively on NDTV, we have with us the UK Minister for AI and Online Safety, Kanishka Narayan. Thank you very much, Kanish, for joining us here on NDTV. We are at the British Council here in New Delhi. How's the journey really been of AI, with UK being also a hub? Because I remember that one of the first AI summits happened at the United Kingdom, and that's where the journey really began.
Yeah. Well, it's great to be here because exactly as you say, Bletchley Park was the start of this journey. Today is a really important moment with the start of the AI Impact Summit here in New Delhi as well. And look, from a broader point of view, the UK has been a fantastic home for AI, all the way from Turing through to where we are with DeepMind having started in the UK as well. But the thing I'm really focused on here is the shared mission that the UK and India have. A focus on adoption, the welfare of all, the happiness of all, a mission that we share deeply in the UK to make sure that AI is both driving prosperity, but also dignity for people right across both our countries.
You are, of course, speaking about innovation in AI.
Yeah.
You're speaking about India and UK partnership. How do you think India is slowly developing into one of the top countries when it comes to, not just the services industry, but also developing mechanisms when it comes to innovation and new models of AI? What kind of a collaboration do you expect between India and UK when it comes to the next journey of the artificial intelligence?
Well, look, the one corrective that there would be that I don't think India is slowly developing. I think India is totally developed in terms of its innovation ecosystem. This is very much the beating heart of tech talent globally. And I think you can see that across global leadership of tech firms as well. The shared mission that I think we have is India's focus on efficient models, small language models that can be in the hands and devices of billions of people across both India and the world. That focus on how we make AI real in people's day-to-day lives, that's what the UK and India, I think, have deeply shared in our respective missions.
One of the concerns has been around the safety and regulations. It's a huge debate in the European Union. They brought in legislations around it. It's a huge debate, of course, in US also. So where does the government interference come in this? Who really decides what rules and regulations really are, and who really draws the final line out here?
Look, I think there are two parts to this. The first part is to understand technology in government. So in the UK, we have the AI Security Institute. I'd like to think it's one of the world's best centers of understanding, does proper work with all the frontier labs in understanding models so that it can then advise government on appropriate action. So that's the first thing. Before you jump to regulation, you've got to get understanding. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is on areas in particular like online safety when it comes to supporting children, supporting women and girls' experiences online. We have been very focused on standing up for our values. And by the way, we share that with India. When Grok started allowing nudification of images of women and girls and children at the start of the year, India stood up to Grok and said, this is not the right thing by our values. The UK stood up to Grok, not the right thing by our values. And as a result, I think we got good progress. That stopped. And so the fundamental thing is, yes, build understanding in government, but where you find the right appropriate mechanisms, regulate in light of our values.
But overall, asking you about the entire gamut of understanding and partnership in science and technology, there is, of course, a lot of emphasis in our daily lives in technology sphere. But where it comes to India and UK, the partnership in science and technology, where are we right now? We are at the British Council. In academics also, there's a huge, use of technology and artificial intelligence. So where do you think in innovation and science and technology do India and UK partner?
We have a fantastic foundation in the free trade agreement that the UK and India signed, one of the earliest ones for us after leaving the European Union, and hopefully a really valuable one for India. The unique aspect of that was there was an innovation chapter. It's very rare in free trade agreements to have an innovation chapter. We did it, and the reason we did it is because we think innovation and technology is going to be a fundamental area of collaboration. The Technology Security Initiative is focused on the reality of this, which is that technology is now an instrument of economic power as well as hard material power. And so I think there's a huge amount that India and the UK are doing in terms of our free trade agreement, the Technology Security Initiative. But at the heart of it is what my personal experience suggests, which is the fundamental focus that I think for our countries is in people-to-people exchanges. We are two countries chasing the future. I feel that vividly when I was in Bengaluru and now in Delhi, and I feel it vividly amongst young people in Britain as well. I think that's the focus, how we can make sure we have the most of the connections we have.
You spoke about the FTA, almost guessed my next question. We've had a very robust cooperation.
Yeah.
And the global tariffs policy literally has pushed a lot of countries together. India and UK, India and European Union. You were right in saying that India and UK actually began this huge, I would say, a good diplomacy for India as well.
Yeah.
Because after that, we had FTAs with New Zealand, with Oman, with EU, and now the United States perhaps as well, if all goes well.
Yeah.
So how do you see the India, UK partnership when it comes to trade? We had Prime Minister Starmer coming to Mumbai with a huge delegation and meeting business partners, CEOs, and of course, Prime Minister Modi. So what is the next chapter of trade looking like?
Well, look, the UK and India move first, and then everyone else catches up in terms of the relationship here. Yeah. We want to do the same in terms of implementing the free trade agreement. So we've got a brilliant delegation here with us, great AI companies, some education context. We're in the British Council, universities from the UK coming here, recognizing there's abundant talent. We want to make sure we're supporting them in grasping the opportunities that India offers as well. And so from my point of view, the next stage is putting the free trade agreement, its provisions into the real reality of commercial agreements, brilliant educational opportunities for people in our countries.
Kanishka, stepping back into the online realm, artificial intelligence is good, but there are concerns about growing radicalization. There are concerns about online safety, and you look at it very, very closely. Right. How do we actually develop artificial intelligence or perhaps growing cooperation between India and UK when it comes to radicalization online and counter-terrorism measures?
Yeah, look, I think the starting point is we have a shared sense of mission, shared sense of values on this question. In the UK context, we have recognized that there is no provision, no space for extremism, no space for the online harms that you're describing. We have put that on a regulatory footing. In the Online Safety Act, platforms have a liability, a responsibility to make sure they take that sort of content down promptly and that they don't allow it systematically. And so there's a shared sense there. I think there's a lot more we can be doing together because, as I said, in the Grok context, when we both stood up as our countries, we won that argument. Grounded in our values, rooted in the well-being of our people, we were able to win that conversation. I think there's a lot more to do across the entire agenda on online safety.
Well, now I want to focus entirely not on politics, not on AI, not on diplomacy, but your own journey.
Right.
How did it begin from Bihar to Britain? Viewers really would like to understand this Indian origin boy making it so big in UK. How challenging was this journey? But how did it all begin?
Well, look, it was a really warm experience growing up in India. As you said, I grew up in Bihar and Muzaffarpur eating mangoes and lychees.
Wow.
If you haven't tried a lychee from Muzaffarpur, you've got to. And actually, a lot of it is grounded here in the British Council. When I was a young kid here, my mum brought my brother and I here. It's a wonderful building, air-conditioned in the summers as well. And we used to read books in the library. And it sowed the seeds of thinking that Britain offered a remarkable opportunity for me and my family when we migrated, and that has been my lived experience of educational opportunity, of working very hard, getting a very warm welcome in Wales, the place I'm most passionate about now, and as a result, being able to say, I'd like to try and grow up and give something back to the community that gave me a huge step up. So it's been a great experience so far, very early in the journey still, and at the heart of it, the UK-India relationship is a very special personal one.
I usually put ministers and diplomats in a spot.
Right.
And I would do the same with you, but you're Indian origin. So would you like to speak in Hindi to our viewers? Anything, a message to India or Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
Yeah, look, Aditya, अगर आप स्पष्ट उच्चारण की उम्मीद ना रखें तो थोड़ी बहुत हिंदी बोल लेंगे हम. The main thing I'd say is, भारत और UK का relationship बहुत पुराना है, but मेरे मन में ये बात बहुत दिन से है कि वो इतिहास is not the main determinant of our relationship. हमारा main relationship है कि दोनों country के लोग बहुत focused हैं future पे. Huge sense of ambition, huge sense of hope, and at the heart of it, linguistically, हिंदी में भी और अंग्रेजी में भी a great sense of shared mission.
लेकिन मंत्री नारायण जी, मैं आपसे भी हिंदी में ये पूछूंगा कि आपने जो है लीची और आम का जिक्र किया मुजफ्फरपुर का, लेकिन क्या आप अपने नागरिकों को जो है ब्रिटेन में नहीं बताएंगे कि यहाँ के लीची और आम खाने चाहिए?
नहीं, बिल्कुल, लीची और आम हर जगह खाने चाहिए और फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट के बाद हर जगह
टेक्सटाइल्स, खाना, हर तरह की चीज़ में एक्सचेंज होना चाहिए. सो उतनी मधुरता से नहीं बता पाऊंगा अब, लेकिन जो भी थोड़ी बहुत हिंदी बोल सकता हूँ उससे बिल्कुल बोलूंगा.
Many, many thanks, Minister. Thank you very
Lovely.
much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Lovely to speak to you, Aditya. Thanks very much.
Well, that was the AI Minister from United Kingdom on the sidelines of the AI Summit here in New Delhi, speaking about the larger cooperation and collaboration between India and UK and how both countries, in the backdrop of the historic FTA, can build on this diplomatic relationship. Reporting from the British Council here in New Delhi, this is Aditya Raj Kaul for NDTV.